center above your eyes. And if you've ever heard of the third eye or the pineal gland, you should look it up. It's a great thing to start learning about all these different things because it's something that just blows you away because there's a lot of science behind it. And then on the top, and by the way, the pineal gland is indigo. And then on the top, you have the crown chakra. This is where I was getting confused with the sacral chakra. But the crown chakra is violet. And all these chakras spin in certain directions. And, you know, some people say it's like the whole double helix of DNA where it's like one chakra spins left, the other one spins right, and men and women are different. I don't really try to focus on all that because that's too much. I just look at it as colors and they're spinning. They're open or closed, more or less. I try to simplify it because I don't think we're all mystics. I don't think we're all mages. I just think that we're spiritual. I think that we're electromagnetic, vibrating beings. We're not just physical. We're so much more. And so we have to at least learn how to take care of ourselves. So, and one thing I like to do, folks, is because I don't believe in duality in the sense of separating light and dark, but I do believe in light and dark and the polarity of positive and negative, not as in good and evil, because I keep saying believe. I do see that good and evil are aspects of man's creation or of the ego's creation, really. The selfishness and the selfness of being that individual who needs and wants and has. But totally just got lost. Still human here. But I was talking about the needs, the wants, the haves. Oh, man. Ridiculous. Anyways, folks, this is why I need somebody to call in. Have sympathy upon me. Take pity. But, with the light and the dark, I see below me the darkness, and I see above me the light. And I do that normally in the day because that's really what happens. We have the ground is, dark, especially at night, and the sky has light. And that's kind of real, It's actually what happens. So I use those as representations. I see the dark below me and the light above me and my crown chakra receiving light and my root chakra expelling the darkness. And the darkness isn't bad. Again, it's not evil. It's just the earth. It's the material. It's the physical. And, we're holograms and it's our tether, the thing that actually holds there in this space and time on a physical reality. And folks, again, I'm nobody. I'm just Thrice here on Thrice's Download. And you don't have to listen to me. Take this information, go out and study. Take 30 minutes a day and just type in things like mystical teachings or ancient Egyptian, way of life or Atlantis. Atlantis is a great one, because there's so much. Plato, Socrates, it just list goes on of famous minds that just completely tell you about this concept that most people don't know about. When you hear Atlant and you think Atlanta or Atlantic, but Atlantis, it's like it's a cartoon or some fantasy. City under the sea, which has so many meanings. City under the sea. But anyways, so with the different sounds, it goes through different chakras. So since we went over the different chakras, let's go over the different sounds. So you have O for the root, U for the sacral, A for the solar plexus, A for the heart, and E for the throat. Now with the third eye and the crown, you have and which is like good. So with M and then N, like Nicaragua. So the way you can do it is you can either do it with a breath, like oh, and go as long as your breath needs to be or feels comfortable. And then you can go for the next one. Ooh. And so when you go through, it'll be something like this. And I'm going to do it in one breath. So you can go, oh, and if you notice, I do an ascending scale because for me, it feels natural. You can do monotone, like all the same kind of tone. Basically, I said monotone. But or you can do the ascending scale. You can do a descending scale. There's all sorts of different ways you can do this. It's whatever feels good. And that's the point of this. It's really weird because a lot of us don't trust our feelings. We don't trust our intuition. And this is where the intuition really comes into play. Because sometimes I like to just go, Sorry, guys, not trying to breathe in the microphone, but I'm very serious. These vibrations help. Like, I'm very anxious a lot, and I was getting anxious for the last half an hour, and that calmed me down. I'm not trying to be extreme right now, but there's a lot to music, and it really does change you. So you can go through fast, you can go through in each breath. Depends on how you want to feel. Okay. And it's not just what you want to feel, it's what you need to feel, because we all need to feel. You need to use your heart. You need to be yourself. If you're not, then you just lose who you are. You lose how to exist, where to exist and when to exist and why to exist. The famous who, what, when, where, and why. That's really what life is all about. Is just what? What is this? What's happening? Who are you? What am I? I mean, that's really what it is. What is life? That's one of the sovereign gods. It's one of the things she said. If you're asking those questions, what is life? What are we? What are we? Where do we come from? We're literally a species with amnesia. That blows me away. We're so intelligent. We have no clue where we really came from. Oh, well, we came from God. Oh, well, we came from Allah. Oh, well, we came from the earth. And, well, the turtle and the great mother. And none of that matters if we don't really know what's going on. So since we don't really know what's going on in our past, all we can do is focus on the now. And that's where these sounds really will help you find that song of your soul. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of throwing together a little melody. Okay, so here we go. And you can change the tone of each sound. And as you can see, the melody continues. Well, of course, since you're listening, but you hear how I'm sticking to the same melody. That's not willingly. That's not me, trying to think of a song and it comes. No, that's just I start with one note and just keep going. You start with O. I mean, that's why I say if you go through, and this is one of my ways that I do my ritual or my prayer, my meditation. I don't like saying rituals or a meditation because it's a continuous process. You're always visiting the same spiritual world every time. No matter what you want to think with the physical and existing in time and space, it doesn't exist in the spiritual world. You are who you are. So I like to go through through the tones, like the 7 tones, because it starts you off with a bass, like a bass line, not like a bass like an instrument, but a bass line like as in a base, like a foundation. So oh, and it already has its own tone. It has its own general melody when you go through it, so it kind of leads you into it. You can also go backwards. And this is music, guys. I mean, it's very simple. It doesn't matter, again, if you sound like me, if you sound like your best friend, if you sound like Britney Spears or Justin Timberlake or even Aerosmith. It doesn't. What matters is you letting go of doubt, letting go of fear, and singing. Whether it's a melody or lyrics, it doesn't matter. It's constant. You just let it out, and for me, it's really interesting because I can get loud. I don't think my voice is that good. I do know that it gets really loud though. And I'm not talking about yelling. I'm talking about volume. And that's why I was having a little issue earlier with my mic, because usually the volume, even with this software, is just way off the charts, and I have to turn the gain down and adjust everything. But it's actually pretty good. So thank you, computer. But so any time of the day, folks, you can always practice, always work on what you're doing with your song, and it's continuous. Your song of your soul is continuous through your moments of now. It's always changing. Let me I haven't done this on the show yet, but let me see if I can actually do it. I hear it drowning out my heart as it's allowed to speak, to be free, and everything I need. My mind is overwhelmed, the things that I've beheld, existing in the past, I know will never last. Fighting with my soul, losing all control, stepping in my mind and living out my soul.
not knowing what is wrong.